Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Of course, we are expecting horrible weather today in and around South Louisiana. If you end up with a roof leak, any roof issue, give us a shout today, 364-1007, 364-1007. Crews are standing by, 364-1007. Roof leaks, repairs, replacements, we got you, 364-1007. Okay, y'all. Hope your Friday's off to a great start. A good start to the week or weekend for Tyrann Mathieu as the Saints have extended the Honey Badger. Waiting to see, and Nick Underhill tweeted the terms: 2 years, 13 million thereabouts, 10 million guaranteed. That'll save the Saints some money this year against the cap. They can spread out that contract into future years. So Tyrann's current deal, the Saints had an out this year. His contract, he's supposed to count 12 million against the cap. He had 10-3 in dead money, meaning if he's on the roster, counts 12. He's not on the roster, counts 10-3. So they could have cut him and saved about $1.7 million, which is negligible, especially for a player who, even at 31, has been really good for the Saints the last 2 years. Has been very productive. So they signed him to a 2-year, $13 million contract, which restructures his deal for 2024, 2025, and then we'll see what that means as far as future years, waiting for how that's all going to shape out, how they structure it to see what it does for the money. But look, Tyrann's been a really productive player for the Saints the last 2 years. He led them in tackles in 2022 with 91. He had 75 tackles last year, 4 and 3 interceptions, respectively, in the 2 seasons. So Tyrann's played well, even at 30, 31 years old, and he's excited, I know, for the opportunity to continue trying to bring a winner to New Orleans, his hometown. So Tyrann will be back in New Orleans. Michael Thomas, however, will not be. Saints are going to cut Michael Thomas. We got that word officially. Well, let me not say officially. The Saints will officially release that whenever it happens. But we got word on Thursday. Jeff Duncan had a report that Saints are going to release Michael Thomas. And he had a column, which I don't know if you actually read the column. It was very well done. I mean, it was very complimentary of Michael Thomas being one of the best wide receivers in the NFL early in his career, how Michael Thomas is still destined for a Saints Hall of Fame uh, election at some point, and but pointed out a lot of the crazy, the obvious too, which needs to be pointed out, which is how crazy and divisive Michael Thomas has been. How he ghosted the organization. How when he punched C.J. Gardner-Johnson at practice, was suspended for a game by the team as a result of that. Obviously couldn't stay healthy. The times he took to Twitter to bash Derek Carr and coaching and front office. I mean, it's over. I mean, we talked about this months ago when Thomas just so flippantly went on Twitter and was bashing the team during the game. I mean, it's a man who clearly knows it's done and doesn't fear consequence. So we knew that. But then yesterday he went on this tirade against Jeff Duncan, which doesn't make a lick of sense. I mean, I get as well as anybody, when you're in the opinion media, you're going to say things that people don't like. But for all the narrative that coaches and players like to talk about, they don't listen to shows or read columns or anything like that. Yeah, they do. They know well what is said. But just so bizarre for Michael Thomas to have done that. So he'll be done in New Orleans. We'll see what's next for him, but he's got to go. He is nothing but a divisive, a distraction at this point, and it's really a shame because the way his career started, he was on a Pro Football Hall of Fame trajectory, and it was derailed by injuries, and that stinks for any great player that has ever had their career or their greatness derailed by injury. That stings. There's no other way around it. And there's tons of examples from Bo Jackson and Gale Sayers and Troy Aikman and Greg Oden. I mean, you can go down the list in all sports, but usually those people become sympathetic figures. Michael Thomas is anything but. He has been a nuisance, and it's time for him to go. So Tyrann has resigned, and Michael Thomas will be cut. All right, LSU football had practice, media availability on Thursday. Of note, I think was interesting. Cohen Eccles, the freshman, early enrollee, was running as the number 2 center. That was interesting, I thought. Sage Ryan, exclusively at safety, not unexpected. They tried to sell us. They tried to sell us this whole bill of goods last year about Sage Ryan being a great athlete and really good tackler, which is why they wanted him at corner on the outside. No, it's because you didn't have anybody else who could play. But clearly now they've arrived at a point where they have options. So, hey, real quick, Drew's awake. Let me go get him real quick. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. You want to sit in Dad's chair? Yeah. Okay. You sit in Dad's chair. Wait. What do you say? Hi, Dad Joe. Say hi, Dad Joe. Hi. Say hi, Dad Joe. Hi, Dad Joe. You want to say tell them what today is? What day is today? Friday. Yeah, Friday. Where do you go on Friday? New St. Lillian, yep. Yep, you do. Okay. You want to sit on Dad's lap? Huh? Oh, what? Hey, did I see a video of you eating a pancake this week? Yeah. Yes. Did you like that pancake? Yes. It was good? Yes. Good. You want to sit on Dad's lap? No. Okay, you can go. Okay. Okay, now you want to go play. Okay, see you later. Okay. He's just gotten too cool for us, y'all. He just wants to go play with his toys, and I don't know why he's up right now. Way too early for that child to be up right now. Normally, got to go wake him up. But anyway, okay. Let's say good morning. Brian Penton, good morning. Brian Wynn, good morning. Damon Gilmore, Vaughn Bluesman, Wendell Norman, Jason H, good morning. Yeah, man. Super basic today. Just some Navy court visions. Little Navy to match the Navy in the shirt. So, like that song. Blue. I'm all blue today. Hat, shirt, kicks, watch band. Blue. Eiffel 65. Was that the name of the band? I'm on. World. He's pulling out some toy. Anyway. All right. Kelly Gross, good morning. Yeah, great weekend of LSU sports. Got baseball this weekend against Xavier. We've got basketball tomorrow at home against Missouri. Gymnastics is actually competing tonight at the River Center in a quad meet. So 4 teams at the River Center tonight, not at the PMAC. Be interesting. Abner Neal, what's going on? Lady basketball. Yeah, the Lady Tigers play. Well, they don't call themselves the Lady Tigers anymore. They don't brand. They just brand themselves as the LSU women's basketball team. They don't actually say Lady Tigers anymore. But yes, that's an old habit to break. But yes, Tommy Primo, good morning. Yeah, the women today play Auburn. Auburn beat them and then gave them hell in the second matchup. So tough match. Carrie Hughes, good morning. Mom is 70 today. Everyone help me wish Dr. Wanda Hughes a happy birthday. Well, happy birthday, Dr. Wanda Hughes. Hope the big 7-0 is awesome. And, many, many, many more to come. So cheers to you. Brett Gidry, morning. I know it's not super fancy. I got to try Milam and Green Port Cask Rye last night. Loved it. Very good. I've never had it. Never had it. So, hey, man, say it all the time. Just because something is inexpensive doesn't mean it's bad, and just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's good. Brian Fletcher, should the Saints get Jacob Simmons? Are you talking about? You're talking about Justin Simmons. Okay, I was about to say not Jacob Simmons. You're talking about Justin Simmons. I was making sure there wasn't someone that I wasn't aware of. Yeah, so it's the Broncos safety Justin Simmons, who was cut yesterday. Maybe it's going to save Denver. And this is look. Justin Simmons is a former All Pro. And maybe that's someone you could sign to replace Marcus May. But here's the point. I guess this would be my point. Number one, how much would it cost, right? But number two, are you in essence signing the same player, an aging declining safety that you just let go of in Marcus May? And I don't know if you want two aging safeties with Tyrann and Simmons back there. I almost feel like if you're going to sign a free agent safety, you're going to want to sign a younger free agent safety, which you should have done with Marcus Williams, but you were so poor with the cap, you couldn't afford him or Trey Hendrickson, and so two of your better defensive players walked. So no, I don't. It would, Brian. The answer to your question is depends on how much it costs, but I'd probably rather get younger. Troy Thibodeau, Matthew's been finished for 2 years. That's not true, Troy. He's actually been one of the Saints' more productive defenders for the last 2 years. Led the team in tackles 2 years ago with 91. Had 75 tackles last year. The Saints' defense and certainly the safety position hasn't been great, and no one's going to argue that Tyrann is the same player he was at LSU when he was 21. But I wouldn't say he's finished. And at that price, 2 years, 13 million, 10 million guaranteed. That's a super agreeable veteran contract. Gary Petrie, good morning, Uncle Scone and family. Would like to see an upset of South Carolina today and the ladies beat Auburn. That would be great. Spurge, good morning. Irfan Sayah, David Tolson, UFC 299. Let's go. By the way, did y'all also see that I don't know which one of the Paul brothers is going to fight Mike Tyson? Charles Bouquet, good morning. Sports Bear. Okay, look at that. The bear, the avatar there is a bear holding a beer and tinkling in a urinal. Mike Thomas got in his feelings yesterday. He did, and he's done that a lot lately. And it's unfortunate because, as I learned, save for a small portion of the Saints fan base, mostly on Twitter, that is still defending Michael Thomas. Overwhelmingly, he has lost any and all goodwill. Like just when I look at all the interaction I got on the show yesterday, emails, tweets on the text, text on the text line, like except for a few people on Twitter, it was pretty overwhelming people against Michael Thomas. And it's not just this one isolated instance. It's not like it was, a reporter did a player wrong. It was a reporter wrote a column that was completely fair. Michael Thomas got his feelings and teed off like he's done a lot over the last couple of years. We don't curse on Morning Scone, Brent. But Michael Thomas is putting that behind in that no, I can't make it work. We don't curse on Morning Scone. You know I'm not offended by cursing at all. We just don't curse on Morning Scone. Quentin Breakbill, good morning. Happy Friday. Eric Wilderotter. I now side with CJ Garner-Johnson for calling Michael Thomas slant boy. Reed Rule. Happy Friday. Kate Anderson is Kate Anderson draft eligible sophomore next year? Is he here for 3? He's here for 3, man. Yeah, that's a guy that, but for Tommy John in high school, likely never shows up on campus. But sometimes you get a guy like that, or you get a Chase Shores that end up on campus that really should never show up on campus. But yes, it happens sometimes. So use it to your advantage. I mean, look, people keep asking about Shores. That's another example. Like, if Shores can come back at the end of this year and give you anything, provided he's healthy again, like I'm saying, fully, because like the other thought would be, well, don't burn a year. Well, keep in mind, like, you're not getting Chase Shores for 4 years. You're not. Like, he's not staying after next season. So if he comes back if he's healthy at any point this year, even if it's just the postseason and he can just be a guy that come on the bullpen and throw 100 to one hitter, use him, because he's not staying 4 years. Thomas Lamont, morning, Matt. Got to say, part of me was disappointed LSU pulled out that game Wednesday. I was ready to watch you rip people for thinking the sky was falling. The old midweek game. Don't worry, Thomas. I'm sure they'll drop a midweek game somewhere. Pat Huseman, good morning. The Falcons will be a good fit for Thomas. I hope not. I go with Sean Payton in Denver. Get far, far away. Barry Day, good morning. Dale Broussard, BK had a good presser yesterday. Ray Langlois on LinkedIn. Thank you for watching there on LinkedIn. Yeah, by the way, if you're watching on LinkedIn, thank you. Please connect there on LinkedIn. Repost. If you're on Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. Ray said, morning, Matt. Wondering if you wear UA shirts with Nike shoes, or do you stay on brand? Just curious for my own knowledge. I am a brand agnostic. It's just that most sneakers are Nike that I wear. Nike's done a phenomenal job of branding. And I have Court Visions and Air Force Ones and Jordans and Dunks. And so I have a lot of different, styles of Nike shoes, but I have others. I have New Balance. I have my Reebok pumps. I have some Adidas. So I got a lot of variety there too. And as far as shirts, like, this is a polo shirt. My favorite dress shirts are Mizzen and Maine. If you're talking about like athletic wear, I love that brand, Task, TASC. I love the way their stuff fits. So no, I'm not super married to any brand. Let's see. Taylor Hudson, good morning. Sports Bear, happy the Honey Badger staying in NOLA. Ryan DeLon, morning, Matt. Pell's back in action. Hope they keep the momentum going. When take a glance, if you get a shot, at the Pelicans' upcoming schedule, because they really do have a pretty awesome opportunity here ahead with the remaining 20 games. They're at Philly tonight, who will not have Joel Embiid. Then they're in Atlanta, who will not have Trae Young. Then they're home against the Cavs, Clippers, Portland, who's terrible. They're at the Nets, at the Magic, at the Heat, at the Pistons. Long 4-game road swing, but again, winnable games against some bad teams. Save Miami in there. You're home against the Thunder, which are one of the best teams in the West. You're home against the Bucks, which are one of the best teams in the East. Home against the Celtics, home against the Suns. So that's tough. But then you get Magic, Spurs, at Suns, at Blazers, at Kings, at Warriors, home against the Lakers. I mean, you have a really winnable 12, 15 game stretch coming before you finish with those last 5 Suns, Blazers, Kings, Warriors, Lakers. I mean, Pels are 37-25 right now. They are um they're in the 5 seed in the West ahead of the Suns. Um I mean, they're 6.5 games out of first place with Minnesota. And they're 3.5 games out of fourth place. So, man, um, if you get into the 4 seed, you're hosting you have home court advantage in a first round series. So, man, they got a shot. They really have a shot in a West where it feels like there isn't that one giant dominating team that's just going to overwhelm everybody. Um, yeah, I'm with you, man. It feels like a good opportunity. Tiger Diver, what's up with Mike T and Jeff D? Michael Thomas went off on Twitter. And by the way, I would challenge anybody or recommend anybody go read Jeff Duncan's column, the one that Michael Thomas got all in a tizzy about. Go read the column and tell me what's offensive about it. Tell me what's wrong about the column. James Avery, Jeff McKithen, Barry Day. Thomas has been a nuisance for a few years. Well said. Go somewhere else, get healthy, earn some respect. Bye-bye. Jeff Jones, good morning. Oh, here's all the Drew comments. Drew, the real star of the show. Bubba Smith. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Thomas Lamont. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Vaughn. A Withers 30. We need Drew. Cam, best co-host there. Normally, Drew is sleeping when I do this show. So the Drew Cam would just be him laying in his bed, which I guess I could do. But Tony Dolby, good morning. Hey, Dad, Jeremy Fontana, morning Scone. Let's get it today. Hopefully, we don't rain out at the box. I didn't even think about that, Jeremy, but that is something we have to consider. Is I don't know if we'll have a rain out or a rain delay. Let me see. It looks like the rain ends around 6 p.m., the chance of rain anyway. So my guess is they'll cover the field and they'll get this game in. Might just be a little later start, so we'll see. Hopefully the rain passes, Um, I like this one. Elijah Steele, morning, Matt. Curious. Do you pick out your shoes, then the fit, or the other way around? Good question, Elijah. And it kind of depends. Most days, I'll tell you, I grab my shirt, I shower, I go in my closet, grab my shirt, my pants, whatever I'm wearing, and then I go match the shoes to whatever shirt I'm wearing. But there's some days where, like, if there's a new pair of sneakers I want to wear, I will reverse that. I'll say, okay, I know I'm wearing those shoes today, so let me get a shirt that matches it. But most days it's shirt, then match the shoes to the shirt. Trivia Carter, good morning. Deborah Cowart, good morning. Robert Potts, morning, Matt. Question on the new PMAC. Mulkey said she wants a facility they can practice in every single day. What will their options be for everyday practice? And I thought the women had a bye. So and they did, by the way. They didn't play yesterday. Auburn beat Arkansas yesterday, so now LSU, the women play Auburn today. So the women did have a bye. So as far as the practice, so obviously there will be an opportunity at the new arena they build. They will still have an opportunity to practice at the PMAC. And then there's obviously also the basketball practice facility. So if you can't practice in the new arena because there's an event or something like that, you can practice in either the practice facility or the PMAC. So it may not be one spot every single day, but you will have a place to practice every day, obviously. Please smash that like button if you would on YouTube. Subscribe up the channel. Darren Gagnon, morning Scone. Michael Thomas, good riddance. Couldn't stay on the field anyway. CK, Matt, what are the chances Miss is one and done after an awesome season? Matt, what are the chances Miss is one and done after an awesome season? CK, give Nuss. Okay, sorry. I didn't see that you clarified there. Yes, Nuss. Yeah, well, keep in mind, I mean, he's already a fourth year guy. This is his fourth season. So it's not necessarily like a one and done, but I understand what you mean, like one and done as a starter. If he has a great year, then if he has a great year, then yeah, uh, he could have a meteoric rise and go be drafted. Um, um, sorry, just got a call. Um, let me reply to this real quick. Let me just text real quick. Well, I don't want to name drop, but I'll tell you though, that was Gordon. That was Gordon McKernan. So I'm curious what that's about. Don't know, but I wanted to reply to it. Let's see. Rick Manuel, more Matt. Did you see Brian Thomas help his draft stock with a 4.340 made it look easy? Yeah, Rick talked about it a lot actually earlier this week. And I know you can't hear everything, but yes, Brian Thomas ran a 4.33. I think he solidified himself as a first round pick. I think the contrast where most of us just assumed he would have been anyway, I don't necessarily think that's true. Keon Coleman is the great example. Coleman from Florida State had a great season, went to the combine and ran like a 4.6. And most mock drafts now have him outside of round one. So in a very, very competitive, deep receiver draft class, I think Brian Thomas certainly solidified himself as a first rounder. Jude Sansing, morning, Matt. Different sport. Are you going to do more Bama is burning when Nate Oates leaves for a better job? Maybe, Jude. I don't know. I never plan those. It's really just when I feel like the moment is right and I have something that warrants it. I mean, I think I've only done like 4 of them. There was the initial, Saban retiring, and then maybe 3 or 4 Bama is burnings since. So, but and I do think Nate Oates will leave Bama after the season. I do. I think um I think there will be a better basketball job open that I do think he'll take. Tara Walker, morning. Let's see. Out here in Memphis. All right, Tara, good to see you, man. Thanks for being there. All good, Brent. No worries, man. Irfan Sayad, hopefully Mike Thomas hasn't poisoned the Saints wide receiver room. Well, I mean, I think, first of all, he hadn't been around. Second of all, I think Chris Olave is obviously a fantastic young player that we're all very excited about. And I would say the same for Rashid Shaheed. Beyond that, do you draft another one this year? Do you add a receiver in free agency? Is A.T. Perry the guy that takes a big leap? Remains to be seen, but there's opportunity there. And I think sometimes that opportunity will drive competition and hopefully, goodwill in the locker room or good locker room culture, a better way to say it. Jordan Simpson, morning, Matt from Shreveport. Dark and rainy here. Hope it's better down there. No, man, I don't know. It hasn't started raining yet, but there's rain in the forecast all day. Brian Wynn, morning. Let's see. How do you think Kim Mulkey and the Tigers fare against Auburn this afternoon? We'll see. I mean, Auburn beat them and then played them tough in Baton Rouge. So I would expect, look, it's a thing where styles make fights, right? And sometimes there's a team that's just a bad matchup for you. And this feels like one of those that's just like all those years when when Oregon football was great, but for some reason Stanford just had their number because Stanford was so physical at the line of scrimmage and they ran the ball and they slowed the game down. It was just a bad matchup for Oregon. This feels like that with Auburn. So hopefully they win. Would love to see them, make a deep run here in the women's basketball conference tournament and hopefully land a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. Jeremy Fontana, know the rules. Should the Saints throw in the house to draft Jaden? No, I don't think so. You're at 14. But the thing I would tell you, Jordan, is it really depends how far he would drop. You're not getting from 14 to 1 or 2. So, I don't think that's real. If, let's say, hypothetically, Caleb Williams goes 1, Drake May goes 2, and the, Patriots choose not to draft a quarterback. Like, let's say they sign Baker Mayfield or Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson, something like that, okay? And they don't draft a quarterback. Well, if the Patriots use their pick at 3, the Cardinals are at 4, and they're not drafting a quarterback because they paid Kyler Murray $250 million. So, could you see a situation where Daniels is there at 5, where the Bears would have already taken Caleb Williams? 6, where the Giants have a decision to make with Daniel Jones? You know what I mean? Like, 7, which I believe is the Titans, who've drafted a quarterback each of the last 2 years, and seems like they're probably going to roll with Will Levis. You see what I mean? So now you could be talking about, okay, well, 8 is Atlanta. Does Atlanta sign a free agent quarterback, or do they draft one? And do you make that? That's kind of, I think, the range where you say if Jaden starts to slip a little bit there, do you try to get aggressive and go make a play to draft him around 7 or 8? But I think he's going to Washington with the second pick. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Juan Cotto, good morning. Dale Broussard, who's the next LSU coach to win a natty? Dale, we've gotten that one over the years, and I always said Beth Torina was the answer, and obviously Jay Johnson got hired and then won a natty, and Kim's won a natty as well. I would still love for it to be Beth. I'm pulling so hard for Beth Torina and softball. I think baseball has got a great shot to win it again this year. If you asked me which is the next, I would probably pick baseball to win it again. Oh my God, it's 8:01. Oh my God, I totally lost track of time. I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe up the channel. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. As always, brought to you by Brock. And we're gonna have my apologies for everybody I missed. I just realized it's after 8:00. We're gonna be late. I gotta go. If you have rain today, if you have issues with your roof, please give us a shout. 364-1007. Friends, neighbors, coworkers, family members, let them know. 364-1007. 364-1007. Give us a shout. We got our crews rolling today. We're happy to help. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for watching C for AFR3. Peace.